and he's got a very fascinating presentation. His name is Mr. Aaron Lau. He's the founder and CEO of Gusto Collective, Asia's first brand technology group. Aaron will explain how phygital marketing can tap into the Gen Z customers and how Web3 marketing can evolve transaction-focused marketing in more enriching and experiential approach. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Aaron Lau to the stage.
Good evening, and thank you for ILTM to invite me here. I've been trained not to stand between someone and his or her drinks. I am standing between you and your drinks, so I'm going to be trying to be efficient with what I'm going to take you through. I was going to talk about phygital, and I think some of you may not be aware, phygital is a combination of something physical and digital, and it's really important to take that on as you are thinking about how you market luxury travel. Because Gen Z is driving everything luxury, particularly if you're talking about China and this part of the world, where the luxury customers are much younger than their European and American counterpart. And I want to thank Sumana and Alison. Also, they went through all the heavy lifting to go through all the data and all that, so I don't have to talk about that. So I'm going to really focus on three things. I want to talk a little bit broader about luxury as opposed to luxury travel, because luxury travel is a subset of luxury. And then we're going to go deeper into luxury travel and what it means with phygital. So if you think about the old world of luxury, it's all about status. You stay at the most expensive hotels, or you own the most expensive handbags or shoes or whatever your interest may be. And it's about ownership. The brand is all important. And last but not least, it's a little bit of an indulgence. That's what luxury has always been about for many, many years. Today, it's very different. Luxury is about self-expression. Luxury is about having that expression to indicate, to collect social capital so you can belong to the right group and so on. And therefore, brands or hoteliers or whoever is involved with luxury has now got to deal with this idea about backstory and a little bit of cultural curiosity, which is why I think you see so many hotels going into collaboration with luxury brands. And last but not least, it is about artfulness. You're looking at self-expression, you're looking at the most sought-after luxury trainers. I don't know anyone know about this particular pair of shoes. My son, who's a fashion designer student at Parsons, and he got one of these pairs. He took them home, and our domestic helpers threw it into the garbage can. And he went berserk because these shoes cost $1,850 US a pair. And you need to know someone to get a hold of these shoes. And they're selling like gangbusters. Now, I'm sure we all have a few pairs in our closet, and usually they get thrown out all the time. But this is what we're talking about. Now, please, let me explain. I'm not suggesting that all the hoteliers, put soiled bed sheets or torn towels into your hotel room. That's not what this is all about. But you're gonna have to think about this idea about expression. So maybe you should run academy or tours that talk about that self-expression, because that's what the new luxury customers are all about. And perhaps McKinsey put it the best in terms of the way they characterize these young customers are looking for a purpose in the brand. It doesn't matter if it is a hotel or airline or travel agent or whatever. More and more these young customers are looking for that. So I'm going to show you an example of not exactly a typical travel brand, but this is a 202-year-old brand. It's called Louis Vuitton. Those of you, I don't know anybody's never heard of them, but this is a 202-year-old brand that has stayed relevant up to now, right? And they've done a number of things really well. first of all, the whole company, you got to give it to Bernard Arnault. This is why he's the wealthiest man in the world. 15 years ago, he did a project where they looked at what Louis Vuitton is all about. Now, Louis Vuitton started as a shipping trunk or travel trunk that went between the Atlantic Ocean. They went from a product to an idea, and the idea is about self-expression, self-discovery. And this is a piece of work they did 15 years ago that talks about this epic journey that someone is on. And of course it links back to the product itself. But the idea about this whole 2.5-minute video, it's about someone traveling, and as you travel, then you find yourself, you discover a part of yourself as you discover the world, which is a very, very powerful idea. Now, in the interest of time, or the drinks that we're gonna have, I'm not gonna go through the whole video, but you get an idea about what this brand is all about. And then you fast forward to where they are now. Then they went into China, and they did a deal with Tencent that owned League of Legends, which is the most popular mobile game in the world. And they did this really beautifully. When you play the game, you can actually buy some of these skins on your avatar. And of course, you can buy the physical product. And then of course, then you fast forward to 2 years ago, they ran an NFT game where you travel the world and you can collect 200 candles to celebrate Louis Vuitton's 200th birthday. And some of these candles went into NFT art. And within a couple of weeks, they got 2 million downloads. And of course, as you all know, this is now one of the hardest selling, luxury brand in the world, and they deploy technology, as you can see from the top left-hand corner, where they use AI to generate all these wonderful dots. By the way, we work with Kusama, and every single one of these dots mean a lot to her, and she's 94 years old. She just celebrated her birthday. So this is a massive campaign, but again, the key point I'm trying to make is, in spite of all the technology that we talked about, the key thing is to find the purpose of what you're trying to sell. And Louis Vuitton is the world's #1 most valuable luxury brands by a big margin. So that's what purpose is all about. But what the most important part about purpose is actually this idea about self-expression. Because if your young customers are subscribing to, let's say, a tour or a hotel, what they really want is part of the experience become part of their own expression. And self-expression is important because, particularly for the younger people, they're really talking about using this expression as part of the social currency to accumulate social capital. And what's great about social capital is it allows you to belong to the right group. And while you think it might be frivolous, but if you think about what LV has done, and they have actually taken that and really understood how young people relate to brands, and as a result, they built a phenomenal brand, even though it's a 202-year-old company. So I guess so that's the broad state of play in the world of luxury. Then one's got to then think about, well, travel. How does it relate to travel, this purpose and all that? So I'm going to give you a couple of examples because Web3 is quite broad and it's in the making, so a lot will change. So first is, if young people are looking to luxury as part of their own self-expression, and by extension that would apply to luxury travel as well, then shouldn't really think about that we're not just providing beautiful hotels, beautiful tour groups and whatnot, and think about this more like a curator, a tastemaker of an expressive luxuriant lifestyle. Once you achieve that, then the possibilities are endless. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of real-life cases that we were engaged in. First of all, is MetaHuman. I apologize for all these words that we made up, MetaHumans, Phygital, because the world is very interesting with all these MetaHumans. Those of you who have ever seen the movie Benjamin Button, have you seen the movie? That was the first time MetaHuman was introduced. This is the movie where Brad Pitt went from old to young, that we all wish we could do. But all the other versions of Brad Pitt actually were metahumans. So they were created in three-dimensional CGI, and then they put rigs, they rig it with bones and skeletons so they can talk and all that. Now, fast forward to now, metahumans are much cheaper to create, and young people are engaging. These are virtual influencers, and they are now becoming mainstream. They are also becoming a lot more engaging. In fact, young people relate more to metahumans than they do with real humans, sadly, but that's true. So I'm going to show you our first metahuman here in Asia called Monarch. She is a metahuman artist, and this project was commissioned by Rosewood. They sponsored the Art Basel, and they wanted to take people from where Art Basel took place on Hong Kong Island to Kowloon, where the hotel is located. And we created a piece of art that actually connected with everyone on the at the Art Basel, and it's kinetic, so when you move, the art moves. So why don't I have Monarch to tell you what this is all about?
What does it mean to be in bloom? I'm Monarch. As a non-human meta-artist, I'm fascinated by the ways humans interact with their world and how they feel about their own flourishing. That's why I created Rhapsody in Bloom, a generative visual melody celebrating Rosewood Hong Kong's 4th anniversary and Hong Kong's rejuvenation through the Rosewood Artistry Program. This immersive art piece creates a space for humans to connect with their communities in a new and meaningful way. As you interact with my meta-flowers in real time, we'll co-create an artwork that's a testament to the power of collaboration and the transformative potential within all of us. Join me in this celebration as we explore the meaning of flourishing together.
So it's drawn a huge crowd over to Rosewood to see how this is done. And of course, when you work with metahumans, there's a lot of possibilities. In this particular case, we were asked to attend an event, and this is actually what happened. So we did an 8-page special with MetaHuman. All of them were created with an artist. And then, of course, like all human beings, she went to the event, signed on the wall, and then took pictures with all the celebrities that came to the event. And actually, what's really interesting is, after the event, it became so popular, we were asked to create these NFTs, and they were given away as NFT art to all the VVIPs so they can commemorate their attendance. So metahumans and the possibilities of deploying Web3 technology to today's world, today's marketing is now real, and it's much cheaper than it used to be before. Then I want to leave you with another idea. The last idea that I want to take you through is this idea about community marketing. Those of you who are used to cookies, these are the good stuff that track you from website to website. So you ever look at a handbag, that handbag will follow you for another 2 days. That's no longer going to be the case by 2024, because all the major websites have now agreed, including Chrome and Google, that websites will no longer be able to track people from platform to platform. So that's the end of all the third-party data. So everybody now have to figure out how to get first-party data, because you're no longer able to track. And when you have first-party data, it changes the whole world. Because in the old days, we used to talk about mass media. We used to talk about reach, eyeballs. Then comes the internet. Then everyone was talking about effectiveness. I can now personalize, thanks to cookies, right? So you can personalize. I look at a watch, then that watch will follow me, or the number of watch brands will follow me for the next 3 days. But that's no longer going to be possible by 2024. Then what's great with new technology, with new engagement, you can actually build brand advocacy by having communities. And these communities are very different from what I guess the travel industry is known for, and that is loyalty marketing. And the problem with loyalty marketing is, if you look at this chart back in 2024, the engagement was pretty high at 72%. Today, we're talking about 46%. And if you look at what Kantar, a research firm, talked about, was 71% of all loyalty programs are no longer effective in terms of boosting growth because the young audience are not as into transactions or just transactional relationships than they are into experiential relationships. So when you only engage on a transaction basis, it's obviously not as effective. So what's great is these young people, because they're digital native, they basically want to be part of an online community. And when you're talking about online community, when you talk about Web3, most people think Web3 is about NFTs. It is not about just NFT, it's only a part of it. In fact, it's ranked quite low. It's about all the physical events, all the wonderful things that the travel industry is known for. That's what they want. They don't want just the NFT. So if one is able to engage at this level, then you build an advocacy system that basically don't require just third-party data. It allows you to engage at a real level, and then you build brand advocates. And of course, the brand advocates will go and tell their friends about how great this travel agent or this hotel is all about, and you generate a much more effective funnel of revenue into the brand. So I'm going to end with an example. This is a regional client of ours, Pacific Cigars. They basically sell cigars and humidors. So what we did was, first of all, we went to a famous artist called Christian Delvater, who's a French artist now living in London. And he's famous for creating these art. Again, self-expression, right? So we think this artist will resonate with the young people. So we created these art. And then there are 288 of these limited edition humidors that will be sold at a major premium. So the real humidor is sold for 15,000 Hong Kong dollars. And then the one with the NFT is now sold for 26,000. So you actually make 9,000 more by having a digital double. But then it's not just the digital double. One of the great things about Web3 is you can actually gamify the experience to create an experiential element that these Gen Z customers are looking for. So this artist then is commissioned to produce a monthly piece of art that your digital double changes all the time based upon your patronage. It's almost becomes your membership card. Imagine you have a regular card, a gold card, a diamond card. In the old days, you have to send somebody the gold card or the diamond card as they go up the ranking. Well, today you don't have to, because it sits on your phone and you can connect. You can control all the changes in the server. And last but not least, this membership allows you access to whether it is a special event or cross promotion. And one of the other great thing about Web3 marketing is you can open up your ecosystem to your other partners. And that's a home run, because now you have an ecosystem that puts together like-minded brands and they can create communities together. So to end my presentation, so three things I would suggest that we all think about. First of all is, as you look at all new technologies, marketing, whatsoever, don't forget the most important is the fundamentals. That fundamental is about self-expression delivered through the purpose of the brand, be it a travel agent or hotelier, an airline, whatever they may be. Secondly, with Web3, there are low-hanging fruits about perhaps metahumans and virtual KOLs. That's an easy way to engage. And last but not least, which does take more resources to build, is to think about building communities, because communities is going to be the future of Web3 marketing. Thank you very much.